Hello, everybody, and welcome to K-Pop Cosmos. I am your host, Freyja, and joining me once again is Mark. What is up, Mark?
Hey, Freyja, what is going on? What is going on, listeners of K-Pop Cosmos?
I feel like we should give them a fan base name. Because everyone else has one, why don't we?
Oh my God, why did I not think of that before?
Yeah, I
Genius.
don't know. Like, I don't know. I have stupid names in my head, but I like, I don't know, our little novas or supernovas or something ridiculous like that. But
I love it.
so as everyone could tell, we're not seeing Mark today. So he will be our invisible co-host today because we have your icon up. But we are we're talking. Now I'm echoing. We're talking about one of my favorite groups, and I don't know about you, Mark. How do you feel about this group? Like,
Yeah, there's definitely some serious love for this group. I would put them definitely in my top 5 groups of all time.
top 5 groups.
Yeah.
All right, and that group is, of course, FX. So, woo! I love FX. So I came upon FX during, I believe it was Electric Shock, which was huge, huge at the time. But before we get into that, FX, woo! My girls, my girls. So FX was definitely one of the top girl groups back in second gen. They debuted from, I believe it's SM Entertainment, so one of the big 3. The members are Victoria, Amber, Luna, Crystal, and Sully. And they debuted September 5th, 2009. And their debut song was La Chata, which is great. So they were kind of a experimental group. So they coordinated, but not really. Like, you can really tell, especially Amber. Even in this picture, Amber is, you can tell who Amber is immediately. Like, she kind of has the rock and the tomboy style, and I love it. So every music video, she sticks out, and it kind of feels like she doesn't fit, but she fits, because without her, it just feels weird. They were originally going to be, they're like a girl dance group. So they focus a lot more on the dancing. I think this group is the reason why I'm so critical of other girl groups, because they do actually dance. So yeah, it's not anything like crazy, but you do see them doing some of the same moves as the boy groups, and like they're wearing sneakers or they're doing crap in heels, and I'm nervous that they're gonna bust their ankles. Eventually they started kind of drifting a little away, and I know some people were complaining, oh, what, their choreography is so simple, but their choreographer was, I guess, someone who was very into minute details and small movements, and not big bombastic things. Like, if you look at the footwork, I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see that, or the head work or the necks and the stuff. So I really appreciate their dancing. However, because they are second gen, and SHINee was the one who really brought about the dance practice videos, and they were around the same time as SHINee. Finding dance practice videos is like almost impossible. You can find some pre-debut stuff, and that really showcases what they can do. But yeah, dance practice videos and dance version videos, you're not really going to find them unless they're like fan made or pre-debut stuff. I think there's only like 2 official dance practice videos, and one of them is, I think it's Gangsta Boy, and you know it's official because they're dancing in front of the same practice room as Shiny, so you know they have the same thing. So anyway, with this group, let's see. Let's go ahead and introduce the members. So they are a 5-member group, and let's see. Oh, look at the babies. They're so tiny. Little girls. When they debuted, I'm pretty sure that all of them, except for Victoria, were under the age of 18. They're like 14, 15. Victoria was like 22 or 20 at the time.
Yeah, she was 20, which I was surprised that
Yeah.
I mean, I think, she's 20 and I think Crystal was like 14 or 15. It's not
Yeah.
that big of an age gap, but I was surprised that a 20-year-old was debuting in a
With,
girl.
yeah, with 15-year-olds. Speaking of Victoria, Victoria, as we said, she debuted when she was 20. She was actually born in Qingdao, Shandong, China. Sorry, my Chinese is very bad, even though I actually studied it. So her original birth name is Song Qian, and then she went by Victoria Song. So, and she was the leader, main dancer, lead rapper, sub vocalist, visual. She was cast through a Beijing dance competition in 2007. She won first place. She was on, so the way I found FX, besides Electric Shock, was she was on, I believe I brought it up before when we talked about 2 p.m. She was on the show We Got Married, and her quote unquote husband was Nikun.
Hey.
Yeah,
Oh.
from 2 p.m. was her husband, quote unquote husband. It was a mock marriage, and I love this show. I still go back and watch episodes of it. And even some YouTubers, if you just want to watch like certain couples, they have sliced it all down so it's only that couple that you're watching. Because I believe in the show there's about 4 other couples that make up an episode.
Right.
So if you're just like, I just want to watch Victoria and Nikun, which I believe their nickname was Kuntoria. And they were on the show for a year and 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. They actually went and got driver's licenses together. It
Oh.
was the cutest thing. I loved it. And then of course they do the mock wedding photo shoots and things, and I loved it. It was adorable. I think they were the most popular couple of that season while they were like part of it. But you got to move on. You have to be able to do stuff. And they worked around like their schedules. Like they go, oh well, they're in Japan right now, so I'm going to go and we're going to ship so and so over to go visit them while they're doing their stuff in Japan. It was really cute.
Oh, nice.
I loved it. And they tried to keep it as real as possible, but it's a TV show, so everyone knows there's cameras. So take that as you will. So funny thing about Victoria, when she was 24, for the whole 24 years of her life, she thought she was blood type O, but then she realized her blood type was A. I was like, oopsies, that would have been terrible in the hospital. So she specialized in, I believe it was jazz dance. She's also very known for her incredible flexibility. So like they have her do splits and crap all the time. She's a stress eater, which is terrible. She does cook though. She was in a Chinese fantasy drama called Ice Fantasy, with someone super popular, Feng Xiao Feng. I think I've seen that show. I swear I've seen that show. She was also in Shiny's Replay music video and Super Junior's You music video, and Kang Ta's In My Heart Someday, and Brecca Shaw's music video. So she was also in Trax's Let You Go Blind music video. She's been in a lot of music videos.
Yeah, I love her in the Shiny video because I love that song. I think Replay is just one of their best songs. And
Oh yeah.
and the subject of the song is, there's these young guys and they're trying to hit on this older girl, and they're like, "Look, yeah, you're older than me, but come on,
Yeah.
let's see if we can make this work." And I'm like, "Who is the girl that these guys are pursuing?" And when I found out it was Victoria, I'm like, "Oh, that makes perfect sense. I don't blame them."
Yeah,
Now,
unless you know who she is, you're like, what?
hey, could you imagine them like all in a training, like training room, and they're practicing, and FX walks by, and all of a sudden replay is like playing in their head, and like, yes, yes, Nuna, yes.
Yes, Nina. Well, she was my Nina, and I was one of those guys I would definitely be chasing her. She's so cute. Also, something I believe, and sorry guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do remember this. Victoria, I believe, is anemic. I should have double checked it, but I remember people talking about it because there are compilation videos of her passing out on stage. Like she would just hit the ground, and it was terrifying the first time you see it. But yeah, she's apparently anemic. I need to triple check on that because finding that is difficult. Sorry, give me a second.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about that at all in the research. That's very surprising.
Yeah, it's under. I was talking about. I was watching some videos. People were talking about it in the compilations of like of her passing out on stage because they were very concerned, and it was. I don't even remember when it happened, but yeah, apparently she's anemic. I could double check. I should double check. So yeah, but apparently that's what was going on. If that was incorrect, I'm sorry, but that's what I heard and was reading about. And it's hard to find stuff about second gen, especially first geners, because it's just so buried under all of this stuff. Like I don't even think I can find the videos of her passing out anymore. But they were talking about how she went to the hospital and they found out that she's anemic, and so she had to be really careful about, because her white blood cell count's low, and that's why she passes out or something like that. If it's not anemia, it was something else, but I'm pretty sure they said it was anemia. But once again, if someone listening can find that information better than I can in my limited time of being able to dig through this thing we call the internet, that would be greatly appreciated. But as far as my information was that she does have something that causes her to black out on stage, which is why it was terrifying for people to see. It's kind of like there was a video of DBSK, one of their members, just falling straight through the floor. But like I said, it's second gen, so hard to find all this info on again because it's just buried under like 13 years of information,
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see. Let's see. Any more info on her? Coffee. Yeah, everyone likes coffee. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people like coffee. So also Victoria. She hasn't left the group, but she has really taken off in China. Like she is not really doing anything in Korea anymore. Her main focus is in China, where she's actually doing quite well. So congrats to her and being a Chinese superstar now.
Yeah, I've seen her. I guess she's like acting a lot now because I've seen the pictures of her with awards. So I'm like, wow, she's doing pretty well for herself.
Yeah, she's doing really well over there, which I'm very happy for her. Then moving on is our next member, Amber, the girl that everyone screams for on like in their like concerts and live performances. It's hilarious. Like some of them, she comes out and it just it's so loud. I'm like, geez, Amber. And Amber is I want to say she's like a social butterfly. Like she's friends with freaking everyone. Amber was born in Los Angeles, California. She has an older sister. She was cast at the SM Global Editions in LA, California in 2007. Um, she sang Max's "Oh Heart, Peace, Please Stop Now" and K Will's "Left Heart." She's a basketball player. Um, let's see. She is a Taiwanese American. Um, so let's see. Ba, ba, ba. Let's see. I see her everywhere. Like, apparently her best friends are Miss A's Min and Girls' Generation Hyoyeon and Ali, which we will talk about her later, eventually. She's also good friends with Jackson from GOT7, Finiel, I can never say his name, from BTOB, and Henry from Super Junior. She also likes Taekwondo. She likes mangoes but is allergic to them. Don't you just hate that? Like you love the taste of something, but then you find out you're allergic to it. You can never eat it again. You're like, dang it. I have friends who are lactose intolerant.
Oh no.
But they would come with us to the creamery, and then they're like, "Okay, give me a second," and they pop like their medication. He's like, "All right, I'm ordering me myself an ice cream sundae." I'm like, "Are you gonna be okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I just took my pill. I'll be fine. It'll suck a little bit, but it won't be that bad." And I had another friend who did the same. She's like, "All right, time to pop my lactose pills. I'm gonna eat some ice cream." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine." Um, let's see. So sometimes in America, when she asks to use the bathroom, they point her to the men's room.
So I will say, when I first discovered them, I was like, wow, what a progressive group that they have, 4 girls and 1 guy in the group. Very progressive of them.
You
And I'm
know,
looking like, wait a minute.
yeah, she's giving some of the male idols a run for their money.
I absolutely just love Amber. I think the reason why people are so attached to her is because she is American, and she's very personable too.
Mhm.
So, you know, there's there's obviously a language barrier, for if you don't speak Korean, to try to get to know some of these celebrities. Amber just puts it all out there
Yeah.
right on the floor just for everyone to see. She is so um, personable. Like, you feel like you really know her
Mhm.
through her interviews and stuff, and she's immensely talented. Just I don't think SM really uh, showcase what Amber can do. I think she's insanely talented. When I found out that she directed the last video for FX,
Yeah.
like, that was her, because they wouldn't do it, and she's like, "Well, I'll just direct the video myself." I'm
Yeah.
like, "You go, Amber. I love her."
Yeah, you go. Seriously, she's so talented. Also, they made her the rapper, but oh my gosh, her voice is amazing. I love hearing her sing. And it's what was it? It's not that the rapper in the group can't sing necessarily. It just means that they're not the best singer of the group. So they just get shoved into the rap position. You know what I mean? They're like, well, we have to have a rapper. So, and we voted that your vocals aren't the best. But that doesn't mean that they're not that good. They could be amazing, but you have some like these other amazing ones. And like, well, we just didn't like yours as well as the others, so you're gonna be a rapper now. Like, what? But that's how they do things. I'm like, okay, well, all right, but she is no longer part of SM Entertainment. Oh, also Victoria is no longer part of SM Entertainment. Hers by 2019
Mhm.
expired as well. Amber is not part of SM Entertainment either. She did her solo debut February 13th, 2015 with the song Beautiful. I actually really love Amber's solo work because she does sing a lot more, and it's just more my thing. I think if you watch also to show that she's a social butterfly, you freaking watch her music video "Shake That Brass" and you go, "Oh my gosh!" Like everyone in there. There's June from freaking uh, God that we talked about, and then we have like Girls' Generation, Jackson from GOT7, and I'm like, how many people are in here, like from other companies? But she just, it's like they go, okay, who do you want as your actress? She's like, I'll just make some phone calls and have my friends show up to do the music video with me, and it's a great music video. I greatly enjoyed it. Um,
Yeah, I
but
really like her little solo album. She has a song in there where she does a duet with Eric Nam.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And I didn't know it was originally an FX song that she wrote. But she didn't do it on, I mean, she did the rap part on the FX version, but on her album, her EP, it's her like doing all of the singing, her and Eric Nam in English. And I'm like, oh, she's like immensely talented. Like, good
yeah.
for her.
Yeah, she's very much very talented. You can't be untalented and be in K-pop. Like they have these hidden talents everywhere, and it's just I love when you can see it. So Amber, I think she's like everyone's favorite, to be honest. Like everyone loves her. She did have an interview with Eric Nam, and he's like, "So what's with that?" Because FX hasn't officially disbanded, but like SM pretends like they don't exist. So she was on Eric's TV, on Eric's show, and she said, "Well, we're not FX hasn't disbanded." I'm like, "Well, I mean, yeah, but it's been over 6 years, like what, you know." But her and a couple other members have said, "Well, no, we haven't disbanded." I'm like, "Oh, it's like a shadow ban at this, you know." I hope that they come back, but I'm not holding my breath, and I'm very sad about that. And then our next member is Luna. Luna. So Luna was born in Seoul, South Korea. She has an older brother and a twin sister. I didn't know she had a twin sister. That's kind of cool. She was scouted by SM following a 2006 appearance on reality TV show Truth Game. I did not watch that, so I can't tell you what it's about. um, she's always smiley during their performances. I've noticed, like she's that one that's like always has their smile on her face, which is very good to do on stage. She has great stage presence. She's best friends with IU. She wanted to be a singer since she was 7. She loves pizza, but because they make them diet, you can't eat as much pizza as you want.
Mhm.
She's been in a lot of OSTs, such as One for God of Study, Please Marry Me, and Cinderella's Sister. She was also in musicals. I love when these people are musical. She has one of the best voices of the group, not gonna, if not the best voice. She was in the Legally Blonde musical, Coyote Ugly musical, and The Last Kiss. I didn't know Coyote Ugly had a musical.
They will make a musical out of anything. Anything is eligible to be musicified.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Matilda freaking musical, and I'm like, how? What? Okay, then. She was also in a Korean drama called Saving Miss Go Bong Shil. I haven't watched it, but I've heard of that. She was the host on MTV's The Show, along with Secret's Hyosung. She made her solo debut in 2006 with Free Somebody. That music video is like, it's so artsy.
Yes.
It's quite bizarre, and I love her Buttercup Powerpuff Girls dress shirt thing she's rocking through the music video, and I'm like, what is going on? It's like he pops a candy, and all of a sudden you're going on an acid trip or something,
Right.
and I'm like, are they like making out in the elevator? What is going? What is going on in this music video? I love it so much. It's so weird and artsy.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a really trippy video, but the thing that really helps is that the song itself is so good.
oh
It
yeah, it's
is such a
fantastic.
banging song. So the video just kind of amplifies it.
Yeah, and she's also wearing a DHL
Yes.
t-shirt.
I was like so confused. I'm like, wait a minute, is that a new thing now? Or are we just gonna start wearing like shipping company?
Is this actually a commercial for DHL? Because oh, I love it. Because like they did a music video called Chocolate Love or something for a freaking phone.
Right.
Like, I mean, so did Girls' Generation. The Girls' Generation did like the angel. I call it like the angel thing because they're all wearing white and it's fluffy. And then FX goes in there and they're wearing black and it's electronic music and it's fantastic. I'm like, yeah, okay. So, but she yeah, and also in 2019 her contract with SM expired, so she's not part of the group either,
Mhm.
or not part of SM. She's still part of the group, but so and I don't know, she's so cute. She was
That's
born
I
in
I was
93.
I was so excited about there was a Broadway musical called K-pop. K-pop, the Broadway
K-pop
musical.
musical.
And and I first heard about it years ago, and I'm like, oh, the Broadway community is trying to get me to shell out money and go to New York. Okay,
Yeah.
I see you kind of tapping into my my wallet, and I'm interested. And then the pandemic hit and shut
Mm.
everything down. So I'm like, oh well, it was a nice dream. And then it came back, and it came back with Luna, and I'm like, what?
What? I didn't know that. Holy cow.
So I'm like, now I really need to think about, am I going to go to Broadway to catch K-pop the musical starring Luna? And then
I
it shut
would.
down. Like,
Ah, dang it.
and then I forgot how long it was, probably like 18 weeks, and then it just went belly up. So
Aw.
all of it gone downhill. They give it, then they take it away.
Yeah. Dang it. I would have seen it. And I hate going to New York.
Right? Like that would have totally got me into like paying an insane amount of money to watch a Broadway play in on Broadway if it was A, K-pop, and B, starring Luna. I'd be
Yeah,
all
exactly. Get K-pop the musical with actual K-poppers, please. And
yes,
thank you.
exactly.
I mean, it's not like they don't have the talent to do it. I mean, freaking Onu does musicals too. Just grab the ones who do musicals for crying out loud. Just do it. But alcohol. So Luna, Smiley Luna. Now we have Crystal. I love this picture. Just the freaking fish on the pizza. Who puts pickles on a pizza? I just realized.
All right. So to be fair, state fair that I work at every year, there is such thing as a pickle pizza
Why?
because it's a state fair and they have to come up with crazy foods to get people to buy stuff. And I will say the pickle pizza is quite delicious. I'm a
Oh,
huge fan of it. It's not
sweet.
it's not pickles on pizza on regular pizza. It's specifically designed to carry pickles. It's basically pickles in like a dill sauce and cheese and something else, but it's delicious.
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, I can't really. I used to work at a pizza place, and we did some of the weirdest crap.
Ah, see, there you go.
Yeah, we made one. It was my favorite. Was I remember I called it the tostada pizza. So we got a thin crust,
Mhm.
slathered some refried beans on it, put the green chili sauce on top of that, then loaded it up with like cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, beef, and like black olives and stuff. Put it through the oven, pulled it out early in the oven, got some cheddar, what is it called? The cheddar Doritos, crush those all up, put
Oh,
those on top, put some more cheddar cheese on top, put it back in the oven, pull it out. There you go. There's your tostada pizza. And you can put hot sauce on top too.
oh my god, sounds dangerous, and I could probably only eat like a little bit of that.
Oh, it was fantastic. And then my friend's like, "Do you make tater tot pizzas?" I'm like, I don't even know what to do about that." So Crystal was also born in the U.S. She was born in San Francisco, California. She's Korean American. She has an older sister who is Jessica, the ex-member of Girls' Generation that we talked about when we talked about Girls' Generation. She was recruited by SM in 2000 while visiting family in Korea with her sister. Just this little girl walking through the mall and they're like, "Hey, you want to be a K-pop star?" I'd be like, "Mom, stranger danger, get this person away from me." um, she prefers people calling her Korean name, which is Sujung. Then Crystal, I think she said something like there was a miscommunication where she thought she had to come up with a stage name or something. I don't remember, but one of them they had, or maybe that was Luna, where she wanted to use her real name, but they essentially told her she needs to come up with a stage name. And then it came out that everyone else was just using their names. So she was kind of, I think that was Luna. I think that was Luna that happened to. But yeah, she prefers her Korean name over Crystal. Her father is a boxer and her mom was a gymnast.
Wow.
Um, she likes apples, but is allergic to them. What is with this group and liking things they're allergic to? Oh my gosh, girls. Um, uh, so during SM Town concert in LA, Crystal stood outside her hotel and signed kept signing her fans autograph, like she kept signing for her fans until hotel security came out and told her to stop. I
Wow.
remember that. I actually there's video of this, and I think she bought her fans pizza as
Oh,
well, and she brought it out to them herself. She was the only member who didn't stay in the dorm. She lives with her parents. Um, she collaborated with Junwon Kim on a song called "I Don't Want to Love You." She admires Christina Aguilera and Johnny Depp. Okay. She was in a relationship with Kai from EXO. Who freaking wasn't in a relationship with Kai from EXO?
I love Kai
I
because he's
do.
like the rules are you don't talk about your relationships. You don't say you have a boyfriend or girlfriend. You keep, you want to keep the audience at bay. No relationship status. And Kai's like, who's the hottest girl in K?
Who's
You.
the hottest one right now? I
Kai
know,
is
and
perfection. I love it. Love it.
I love Kai. He's definitely the dude who's slipping notes at the freaking
Oh yeah.
award
Oh
shows.
yeah.
Guarantee he's slipping his number to like as many chicks as possible. I love Kai so much. Uh, she ended her relationship with Kai in 2007. I guess they dated for about a little over a year. That's impressive. Um, she doesn't like being the center of attention. Oh, okay. So Crystal. Okay, so it's not Victoria. It's Crystal who has anemia. My
Oh,
bad, guys. I knew it was one of the members. Bam. So Crystal and Jessica both have anemia.
oh wow.
um, Crystal fainted 3 times on stage. Yeah. Okay. So sorry, guys. I confused Crystal with Victoria. My bad. But I knew one of them had anemia, so I was right. Yes, just wrong member. So but yeah, so Crystal, that's probably why I couldn't find it because I thought Victoria. It's freaking Crystal. You could probably find it if you Google it now. But yeah, Crystal and Jessica from Girls' Generation both have anemia. Um, and it's terrifying to see her pass out on stage. It scares the crap out of me. She acted in several dramas, Cutie Pie, High Kick, Airs. Airs was good. Airs was good. Potato Star, 2013 QR3. She was from episodes 81 to 2013. Holy crap. My Lovely Girl, Legend of the Blue Sea, Bride of the Water God, Prison Playbook, The Player, Search. Woo! She's
Yeah.
been in a lot of dramas. Yeah, she's
She's
been acting.
definitely like moving away from the music and heading more towards the acting. I don't blame
Yeah, yeah. And she left SM in October of 2020. Um, and she signed with H&E Entertainment. Anyway, so yeah, I can't get over her dating Kai. I was like, who does it? It's like freaking Heechul from Super Junior, or just Super Junior in general, who hasn't dated Super Junior. But Kai is, I love Kai. Um, so yeah, Victoria, and now we're going on to the sadness. Sully. So Sully, I believe, was the youngest member of the group. She was born in Gyeongsang, South Korea. She has 2 older brothers and a younger brother. She was cast in the SM Entertainment in 2005 after her drama Ballad of Seodong. Let's see. She was the tallest of in FX, I believe. She doesn't like tight clothes and likes boxy t-shirts and pants with leggings underneath. Yeah, me too. She was a child actress, so she signed with us initially to be an actress.
right.
But once you're in a contract, they can do whatever they want. So they're like, nope, you're gonna be in a girl group. And so in I believe 2015, she left the group to she officially left the group to focus on being an actress, which is what she wanted to do in the first place, you know. So she was in a lot of things. Um, she was considered FX's fake Maknae. She's was close friends with Gohara, G Dragon, Big Bang, Chanyeol, Sulgi, IU, and Gain from Brown Eyed Girls. And Sulgi from Red Velvet, and Chanyeol from EXO, and G Dragon obviously Big Bang. Um, and
So I'll
I
I'll
believe
say
I believe
the
she was also good friends with Heechul from Super Junior.
Of course.
Who isn't good friends with
Yeah,
Super
right.
Junior? So sorry, continue.
I love Hichu.
I love him
Um, so usually the way that I get into K-pop
too.
is well, the way that I got into FX was because I was moving my allegiance, well, not allegiance, but I was very much against Girls' Generation because I was a Wonder Girls fan.
Hmm.
Girls' Generation was the not the enemies, but
The
the
rivals.
yes, the rivals, the straight
Yeah.
rivals. So I'm like, okay, forget Girls' Generation. I'm all about Wonder Girls. But then Girls' Generation won me over.
Hmm.
So I started to dive deep into Girls' Generation, and with them being part of SM, I started to go through like the other SM groups, and that's how I came across FX. And the way that I usually get into groups is there's usually like one member that I'm like, oh, that member is interesting. I wonder what's going on with this member. Maybe this is one who I'm gonna follow, and then I'll get to know the other ones after that. And
Hmm.
Suli was the one that like caught my attention right off the bat because I mean Amber definitely caught my attention because I'm like, who's this guy in the group? But as talented as they are, you can see that they had a very particular identity in the group. Amber was the tomboy. Victoria and Luna were like the big vocal singers. Crystal was the face of the group, and Sully was like the cute little sister of the group.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, how adorable! And then in every uh, version that I've seen, they always stuck to those identities. Uh, so and her being the tallest, I'm like, oh, okay, who is this one? Uh, which one am I going to? Which one is going to be my introduction into the group? And that was Sully. So I was a huge fan of hers from the very beginning.
Yeah. She was. All of these members were great. She was definitely like the cute one. Um, and so IU said she wrote a song thinking about Soleil. It's called Peach. I believe she released it. I'm not 100% sure. And let's see. She was in a couple Korean movies. Babo, Miracle of a Giving Fool, I Am, The Pirates, Fashion King, and Real. She was in a couple dramas, Song of the Prince, Oh My Lady, To the Beautiful You. So I've seen the To the Beautiful You. It's it's a show. It's based. I believe it's based off of a a manga, a Japanese manga slash
Okay.
anime. So Japan has a version of it too. With they always like everyone has a version of those particular shows. Like it's like Boys Over Flowers. There's like 6 different versions of it. So To the Beautiful You, I think it's on Netflix still. You can go watch it there. I'm not. I don't have Netflix, so I'm not like sponsored by them or anything. But you can't. Last time I saw it was on Netflix, or you could go on Viki, which I'm also not sponsored for. But that's how I watch all my Korean stuff, and Chinese stuff, and Japanese stuff. So. um, yeah, August 15th, she announced she was leaving the group, so they continued as 4. Um, let's see, she became an actress. She did release in 2019 her debut song, solo debut song Goblin, which was actually it's a great song, and the music video is also weird.
Yes.
It's weird in a different way. Like it's solely it's like I don't know. I liked it. It's telling a story and it's quite good. And then the sad thing about Sully that we're gonna touch on very briefly because I don't like to um, dwell on a lot of things, but everyone who's been in K-pop knows about her because right after, very close to when Jonghyun passed away, she was found dead in her apartment on October 14th, 2019 by her manager, and police confirmed that it was in fact suicide. So slowly, for many, many years, which I hate people who do this, she was cyberbullied, like intensely for years and years. It was so bad. And it wasn't even just online. Like there was a clip, I believe it was Sully, of Hello Counselor, where her and Amber were on the show, and some asshole tells her well, you're too fat, you need to lose weight. And Amber almost freaking lost her mind. Like, she got so pissed. And she's like, well, that's your opinion. He's like, well, it is my opinion, but I'm a fan. She's like, well, that's just your opinion. I was like, oh, I could tell that she wanted to go up and like punch him in the face. And I'm like, it's ironic because the dude was not attractive. I'm like, yeah, go get your teeth fixed, you asshole. You know, don't tell someone else who's 100 times more attractive than you that, well, you should would be more attractive if you didn't. Like, no, how about you work on yourself, dick? you know, it was like, I was so pissed off. I was like Amber at them. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And no one in the show except for Amber was like, well, that's not okay. Everyone else just laughed up. I'm like, this is just, but then again, when you learn about Korean culture, your boss can tell you shit like that and
Right.
it's okay. And I'm like, oh, it just pisses me off. So she was getting cyberbullied left and right constantly for years. And, unfortunately, you can check on your friend as many times as you want, but, it's sometimes it doesn't matter. You could keep trying and trying and trying, but you're not with someone 24/7. And that's the unfortunate thing. So, but it did cause the Blue House, which is, I guess, part of their government, to pass a law. I think it's called the Solis Law for cyberbullying, where you can't be anonymous in posts anymore, which is what was happening. She was getting spammed by anonymous people.
Right.
Where you can't just be anonymous. You have to have your actual name on there. So now you can actually be sued for crap like that. But it's sad that it took idols' deaths to have them change this crap, and it shouldn't come down to that. Like it should never come down to that. So that's solely, and I remember the huge impact that it caused on like the industry and just K-pop in general. It was just terrible. It was absolutely terrible, and I am very, very sad for that whole situation.
Yes.
So, like I said, I don't want to dwell too much on that. If you believe in an afterlife, at least she's in a better place type of situation, But going on with, like I said previously, FX was a kind of experimental group. So that each girl show off her individuality. Because I was like, what did Amber do to like be able to dress the way she dresses, like comfortably in everything? Like what was that conversation like? But it was just SM being experimental. So SM was very well known. They actually were the first K-pop act to perform at South by Southwest. And for people who don't know, that's a music festival that takes place in mid-March in Austin, Texas. It started in like 1987 or something like that. So it is a big deal. They were also in 2017 on Billboard, were ranked at number 7 on their top K-pop girl groups of the past decade list. They were also, let's see, they were on Fuse TV, which is huge because Fuse TV back I don't even think they exist anymore. It was like MTV in the US. They played music videos and everything. And they were ranked. Yeah, they were was the only Korean album. Let's see. I think it was Pink Tape. The album Pink Tape was the Pink Tape was the only Korean album to appear on Fuse's 41 Best Albums of 2013, which is a really big deal considering they're getting recognized over in the US without social media once again. So that's why, like these second geners, I'm like, these people were getting recognized in the West without social media. They didn't have that help. Like I had to dig to find their music videos on YouTube and stuff. Like this was not easily acceptable. So the fact that they were even ranked was impressive. They were also, a track from their album Airplane was also ranked 3rd on Billboard's 20 Best K-pop Songs of 2013. They won a ton of awards. And they also, with Electric Shock, that came out around the same time as, God, what was that movie? Freaking Pitch Perfect.
Perfect.
So yeah, so they actually did a little skit with Anna Kendrick, and it was Funny or Die,
Hmm.
and it's Anna Kendrick. Her manager tells her that what's big thing now is like K-pop. So we're gonna go have you hang out with go be part of a K-pop group, and of course it's FX, and it's just like the super cringy but like weirdly funny like thing. And it's like, oh god. So
I love that video because you kind of have to remember, Pitch Perfect for some godforsaken reason got a top 10 song from the movie with the
yeah,
cup song.
I hated
And
the cup song.
right, she just looks at her like, do the cup song.
Here's a cup. Do the
And
cup song.
everything's just like, oh, you know that. Okay, okay. I love them beating up on Anna Kendrick.
Oh
She's
yeah.
or and I actually think she's actually really funny. So that whole sketch I thought was just genius. And you would think, at least I would hope, that because that worked so well, that there would be other sketches like that with other K-pop groups, and
Mhm.
I yet to see like an American one with another
Yeah.
K-pop group.
Yeah. But unfortunately, no. So I mean, but yeah, that one was funny. I think my favorite part. Well, actually, I liked a lot of things. Was like when they started speaking English, and Hannah Kendrick's like, "Well, the airplane ride was good." I was like, "That's not even what they're talking about, Anna." Stop. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So she's like being bullied by them, but not really. It's just funny.
Mhm.
Um, but that one was it's great. And then they also did a collaboration with a really popular boy band. I don't find it Chinese boy band. I don't follow them too much, so I don't know. It's called Lollipop. I don't know why everyone was doing songs called Lollipop. This one is apparently was written by Julius Dixon and Beverly Ross in 1958. So it was like a recover. It was a cover of it. It's really good. They're doing it with a Chinese boy band called MIC. Um, I have no idea who they are. I don't follow, like I said, don't follow Chinese groups too much. Um, it's actually a great song. The music video is on YouTube. It's terrible quality. It's like potato cam quality. You can't see anyone's face really until they do close-ups. And oh my gosh, if you want to see like the epitome of like weird Asian pop outfits, that is the video to watch because their hair is like everything is so. I'm like, whoa, that's wild, man. And it was to promote a phone, an LG Scion cell phone.
Of course, of
I was
course.
like, oh my gosh, how many cell phone covers did he do?
Well,
But
that chocolate phone sold a lot. Like
oh
I
yeah,
remember the popularity of that thing. So it only makes sense that someone was like, "Hey, it worked for the chocolate one. Let's do it. Let's do another candy based phone and see
yeah,
if we can sell some more."
yeah. Let's do more boy groups. Also, it's a great song. It's a great video. And I believe Shiny did. So they did another version of it in Korean because obviously they did it in Chinese with the Chinese group.
Right.
But they did another version with Shiny in Korean, which is also very good. That one does not have a music video, but you can listen to it, and there is a lyric video. So and that one is really good as well. I like it. It's a good song. Um, so let's see. Also, the group, unfortunately, I don't know if I have the picture of it. They don't really have a light stick, which is very unfortunate. They do have um, a fan color, which is Pearl Light Periwinkle, and the fandom's name is Miyu. But yeah, they don't. I don't think I have a picture of it. No, they don't have like an official light stick. They have the. Oh, that's a little close. They have this like unofficial flat like pen look like light thing. It's not really it's not really all that impressive. It's just like one of those unofficial light sticks that someone made. Or it is official, but it's just like it looks like a fan. It's not all that great. You guys can look it up and be like, okay. I think the same thing. It looks kind of like Girls' Generation's like unofficial official light stick thing. But that's unfortunate. But SM kind of their old groups are like, meh, whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing that blew me away about FX is that that they don't have an official light stick, and they put out, like, even with me not being a big FX fan, the Pink Tape album
Mhm.
was huge. It was everywhere. Um,
Mhm.
and no matter what, anytime you looked into any kind of K-pop at all, everyone said this is like one of the best K-pop albums ever made. Couldn't get away from it. So you would think, you know, if you're the label and you have a group that has a critically acclaimed and incredibly commercially successful album, that you would be like, oh, you guys are popular. Let's give you a let's give your fans a name. Let's give you a
Yeah.
light stick. Let's give you all of the stuff that we have been giving to Red Velvet
Yeah, I know, right?
right after you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that once again, second gen, I was like, okay, I kind of get it, but I don't. Second gen, because we talked about Big Bang before, they didn't have official light sticks until G Dragon designed one for their fandom, and then it got popular. Then the like everything else,
Yep.
the rest of the industry is like, oh, we should do that too. But that happened in second gen as well. And so they all kind of are like doing this merging at the same time thing. So like things that we know of as like K-pop as we know it today, where like a lot of stuff was invented during second gen and it wasn't a thing then. And so I kind of understand because they also went on this like hiatus for many, many, many years and they're still kind of on the hiatus. So they're not active, but they are in their solo stuff. So I kind of understand why they don't have a light stick, but at the same time, I'm like, but Girls' Generation doesn't have a light stick and they're still performing. So I don't get it. It's like, are you just ignoring? And Boa is still doing stuff and she doesn't have a light stick. Like, does that sound just like ignore them? But Shiny has a light stick, and they were second gen. So I don't know if they're just playing favorites or what, but yeah.
They are. They're pouring their resources into whatever the next thing is, and kind of forgetting about
The
the
past.
ones who are established. But
Yeah.
again, like I can kind of understand that, but Pink Tape is one of the biggest K-pop albums of all. It's almost like it was like almost like Thriller or something at the time. Like
Yeah.
it's huge. How do you not pour more into your group that are doing those type of numbers and getting that type of acclaim? It's just
Yeah.
baffling to me.
They're like the group that like they're super popular, but for some reason they're treated like outcasts. It's the weirdest. It was the
Exactly.
weirdest thing because, like I said, Electric Shock and New Abu, that was huge forever. I was watching Korean TV shows and they were constantly doing Electric Shock and New Abu, and then like you said, Pink Tape was everywhere that album, and it's just. But they're like, oh, FX is I'm like, they're not. They're not the underdogs. Why are you guys treating them like the underdogs? They're not. Like they are big. They're huge. Why are you guys acting like they don't exist? Come on. Like, but it's just I don't know. This group, because of the industry, always frustrates me because I love the group. They were big. They're mega superstars, but they're treated like second rate. Like I don't get it.
Right, and they're doing what kind of what they promised to do. You know, like it's an experimental group. We're gonna shake things up. We're gonna make this group unlike other K-pop groups
Yeah.
and give them music unlike other K-pop groups. And they take that music and they crush it. The songs become huge, unlike what anything else that anyone else is doing, and they're still treated like whatever, second rate.
Yeah. It's just I don't get it. I don't get it. They were everywhere. But I think because they were experimental, they that was what kind of stunted it maybe because people don't like change and their music changed a lot like its style and whatnot would very much switch around. I mean, they were always kind of like K-pop with their like K-pop, electric pop, synth pop, art pop, EDM,
Yeah.
like they're always dance music, but like it did change quite a bit, and it's just I don't understand. They should have, and a lot of people are saying that they were too ahead of their time, and if they had debuted as like third or fourth gen, they would have been doing a lot better. Like if in a different world they were all the same age but shifted over to a different time period. But at the same time, I think they kind of opened the door for that music to be more accepted in K-pop.
Exactly. It's they're kind of led the way for the third generation to really experiment with the different types of music.
Mhm.
They kind of set the pace for that. So yeah, if they would have debuted as a third generation group, they probably just
Mhm.
would have got lost in
Yeah.
the other stuff. But having them set the pattern of what you could do in K-pop, like by breaking the rules, they completely helped out the third generation. They should definitely be more respected.
Yeah. Oh, to be honest, like almost every second gener should be respected from the things that they did because there's so many trailblazers in that generation.
Yep.
Um, Also, let's see, in 2015, Four Walls was called FX was called the world's greatest living K-pop or pop group at the time. That was from Spin Magazine. Also, Billboard in 2017 ranked FX as number 7 as their top 10 K-pop girl groups of the past decade. So,
Yes.
like I said, they were really well respected over here in the West. Um, and then Four Walls and Rum Pum Pum were on Billboard's 100 Greatest K-pop Songs of the 2010s at number 3 and number 9. They also noted that Ice Cream Cake from Red Velvet was like a baton. They said like best idol group alive from FX to Red Velvet. I was like, okay, how they worded that was just like confused me. But essentially, they were calling FX one of the best girl group or idol groups alive. But then now that has shifted over to Red Velvet, which I mean, I really like Red Velvet too. So yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Um, they also didn't really do mini albums, just full length albums, which I appreciate because mini albums, thanks to freaking Big Bang, were like the thing at the time. But then they just kind of stuck with full length albums. But
Yeah,
anyway, mhm,
they kind of cheated. Well, not cheated, but the label kind of they double dipped a lot. Like they would release an album, right? Here's your FX album. You get 10 songs. You're like, all
yeah,
right, thank you very much. And then they'll release a single, which would blow up, and then they'll release another single, which will blow up, and then they'll put a third song and just repackage the first album,
yeah,
repackage the same album. It's the exact same album, just with 3 additional songs. 2 of them are huge bangers now. So
yeah. I
everyone has
mean,
to have it.
there's groups that are currently doing that too, and I'm like, really, really, you want me to buy this for 3? No, I'll just go on iTunes and buy the 3 songs. Thank you. I'm not buying a repackaging. Um, but to be perfectly honest, all right. So, just because we've been talking a lot, we haven't really talked about our favorite songs. I like all their songs. I think one of my favorites is Electric Shock because that was kind of my intro song to them. I
Yep.
like Hot Summer as well. Um, I don't know why, but I really like it. And of course, Lollipop and my one of them, of course, Amber's solo stuff is my favorite. She's my favorite soloist out of the group. Also, I love everything. Like she's just funny. But I think I would have to say my absolute favorite song besides Electric Shock would be Danger.
Okay.
I love that song. That song's great. And like I said, I like watching footwork a lot in stuff, and they don't really do like the cheerleader pom pom arm movements, which is why I greatly appreciate them. And I appreciate Amber, having the male, giving the male idols a run for their money with the female audience. So what are your favorite songs and music videos from them as like an ending
So
for?
yeah, so I was thinking about this a lot lately. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to say my favorite song, the song that really kind of epitomizes what I love about FX, is got to be Chew.
Ah, choo.
That's such for some reason that song, it feels timeless. It just works, and they're putting on such an amazing performance of that song. Like I dug out my SM Live in New York DVD
Yeah,
in research for this, just so I can watch them perform that song. I love that song. So
it's great.
Chew is number one, but I can't leave out uh, Red Light, which is just amazing. The main chorus is a little weird, but the intro and the middle part are just staggering.
Yeah.
Amazing song, amazing video. Four Walls is another one that's just like it's so good. It made me get into. I like found myself diving back into house music because
Yeah.
it's such a good vibe, and I'm like, man, I want to hear more of this. So yeah, I picked up, started searching for more uh, house music songs that were kind of like that. And then the last one is Airplane. There's no
Ah,
video for it, but whenever that song comes on, I'm like, damn, this is really good.
yeah.
They really benefited by because their music was so unique. They really benefited coming out at the time where like EDM DJs were starting to get popular. You know, like
Yeah.
Skrillex and that like are starting to get popular. So their music was able to be influenced by that. And you know, they were able to create something really cool. And I think Airplane is a really good example of that.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good songs from them. Also, just as a side note, I do recommend watching their concerts and their live performances. They also did some team ups with Shiny, who I love, and they're fantastic. I really recommend watching their team ups with Shiny because this is like the age where the idols weren't afraid to like touch each other, like. Because there was one song that they did with, well, it was like a compilation of 3 songs they did with Shiny, and one was my first kiss. They were singing in English. It was like my first kiss when a little something like this or something like that. It's Shiny, and they did one. It was back in 2012, but I highly recommend watching that compilation. It's like um it was Jenny, or not Jenny. Oh god, why did I think Jenny? They did like Rocketeer, which is a great song back then. And then My First Kiss, which I remember everywhere at the time too. And then Jung Hoon was singing with Luna. I believe it was, god, what was the song? Anyway, I recommend it. It was great. It's oh, they sing Moves Like Jagger together. It's great. But I always love when the female and the male idols get together and stuff. And like I said, they were not afraid to touch each other. Like My First Kiss when it was something like this. The Shiny member like went to kiss her. It was super. It's super cute. I think he gets her on the cheek. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the day when they weren't afraid of, because the social media wasn't a thing. They could do that crap without being afraid that their fans were gonna go and attack them online.
Right,
You
exactly.
know, and then social media became a thing, and then bullying, and I like social media but I absolutely despise social media at the same time. But um but yeah, I recommend watching their lives. They're a fantastic group. Even if you don't like the videos, the music is still like amazing to listen to. It's great dance music. The dances are fun and simple, even if you suck at dancing. Well, not simple, the little minute details, but like they're fun to learn. And they're not like having you do backflips and shit. So it's great. Um, but yeah, I wish I had more dance videos, to be perfectly honest. Any final thoughts, Mark?
Well, they haven't officially disbanded, so
Nope.
there's hope that we will get another FX album at some point, or at least a single, or at least like an SM station song or something.
Yeah.
Uh, Definitely follow Amber; she's hilarious.
Okay. Yeah.
She actually she did a song. There's a group called Pentatonics, who's like a
Oh
they do out,
yeah.
and 2 of the members are in a subgroup called Superfruit, and they're
Oh.
amazing. There's 2 guys. Their songs are absolutely amazing. And they teamed up with Amber for one of their songs called Fantasy, which was a lot of fun. So I liked seeing her, outside of the K-pop uh, kind of umbrella that she's kind of painted
Mhm.
herself in.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would say follow Amber. Definitely check out Pink Tape. As I said, a lot of critics say it's probably one of the best K-pop albums ever made.
Mhm.
There's definitely some great songs on there, and um, yeah, and fingers crossed that K-pop, the Broadway musical, comes back.
Yeah. So thank you guys once again for joining us on K-Pop Cosmos. I've been your host, Freya. You can catch me on UCPN's Definitive Crusade, where we talk about all things DC Comics related. And what do you've got going on, Mark?
Me and my friend Joey and Aubrey, we get together every week on So Wizard podcast, and we talk about nerdy stuff, movie reviews. We just finished up our worst and best movies of the year, and coming up, we are talking about Megan, the new
Ooh.
horror movie that came out a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, SoWizardPodcast.com. Follow us on all of the socials, and yeah, check us out.
All right. Well, listen, thank you guys once again, and we'll come up with a fan name for you. All right. Well, bye, guys.